Yo, what's up, guys? This is Chris from Hair Loss from Steroids, and I'm going to be reviewing generic minoxidil today, specifically the Kirkland brand. And you can catch me in all that I think you need to know about stopping hair loss and potentially regrowing some hair on hairlossfromsteroids.com. And like I said, at the very least, you'll really slow down your hair loss. I've been at this stuff for like 10 years, largely combating like very extreme amounts of hair loss when I took steroids with a prescription, but I don't anymore, and everything's under control, and I've gotten some good regrowth too. So I want to tell you about that on the site. But let's talk about this stuff. Generic minoxidil. I have it, I use it sometimes, but I do have an opinion on it. Long ago, I didn't think very much of minoxidil. Like I really didn't. I thought it was just more bullshit out there that was basing itself off one study done long ago by Rogan, and it was just garbage. But I have given it a try in the past 3 years, and I've actually used it consistently. Not so much this stuff. This is the one I recommend, Lipogain, because it has more than minoxidil as azelaic acid, which is clinically proven to remove DHT, both kinds. So that's one I recommend. But still, on this generic one, it's not bad. Okay, and I arrived at that conclusion after being very skeptical for a while. And the reason was this. About 3 years ago, I started using it again. I was like, hey, I got nothing to lose. This stuff is really cheap. Let's use it twice a day and see how it goes. Once or twice a day. So I started using that, and I noticed that I lost way less hair in the shower. And at first, I didn't even think very much of that because, your hair cycles, they differ. Some seasons of the year, you're going to lose more, some you're going to use less. It's just the different phases the hair is in, the anagen phase when it's growing, the telogen phase when it's resting, and then in between there's a shedding phase. But I was losing a lot less hair in the shower. And lo and behold, I came across something that verified just that. The minoxidil was doing that. I'm going to look at it right now. A study was discussed in the International Society of Hair Restoration Surgeons. Okay, guys who used 5% minoxidil for 1 year lowered their hair loss from washing, meaning in the shower, from 69.7, about 70 hairs, to 33.8 hairs. And doing the math on that, guys basically cut their hair loss in half, at least from washing. And that's exactly what I noticed too. At its extreme, I was like losing like 100 hairs, but when I picked minoxidil back up 3 years ago or so, it was probably about 50 hairs in the shower. So I started using it, and it was down to about 20. I mean, it's hard to count, but I can just do the eye test on this. It was down significantly, over double. So I found that study there after that, and it happens to be so. And so I've used minoxidil ever since. I'll post a link to that clinical study below from the International Society of Hair Restoration Surgeons. And anyway, I actually ran a more intense minoxidil kind of like little experiment last year. I think I started about the middle of May, so like right around this time last year, and I went for about 28 weeks. And what I did was I basically saturated my hair in minoxidil 24/7. And now it's not 24/7 because yeah, I do get out and about and stuff like that. But if I was home or at the gym, I put on a hat, throw on minoxidil. If I was at home, I would just drench my head, and I kept my head basically saturated all day. And what I mean by that is I applied it about 4 times a day. I'll say that I've never gotten better regrowth in my life, and this is the exact stuff I use too, because it's cost effective to do so. And yeah, over 28 weeks, I definitely regrew a lot of stuff that I didn't even know like really potentially could, and I started getting even more so. It's evidence of growth, like peach fuzz in the front where it receded a little bit, and yeah, so it definitely, if you give it time, will be legit to use. So anyway, the bad parts about the generic minoxidil is it doesn't dry fast, and the higher grade formula is like this Lipogain dries super fast. That dries in like 5 minutes. This will take a good hour or so to dry. And the problem with that is it's also oily, so you can't really style your hair very well. So if you're gonna use this, I would use it at night. Yeah, and just like sleep on it. I don't know if you care about getting on your pillows and stuff. Maybe let it dry a little bit. But Otherwise, you know, it's pretty good because it's really cheap. You can get that big 6 month supply for about like $20 or something on Amazon, which is really good. So I think minoxidil, my general opinion of it, it is good. It doesn't address the DHT matter, but it certainly cuts down hair loss from washing and likely overall. It's weird. Now, this thing has been, you know, approved by the FDA for hair loss since Rogaine got it, I guess, in the 1997, if I'm going to guess, for a while there. So it's been approved for hair loss, but they still really don't know how it works. And that's interesting. Now, there's a lot of ideas on it, but nothing's been completely confirmed. But the fact of the matter is, it does work. And yeah, some of the higher grade formulas like Lipogain are they're high quality and they dry fast and they're not like a fucking huge inconvenience like it used to be. So that's what I recommend. You know, you can try my little minoxidil experiment. Of course, ask your doctor first and stuff like that. But you're only gonna be able to do it if well, I guess you don't have to work at home or something, but it is really like an oily thing. You might want to give it a go, or, you know, just try the most of the day to keep it in there. But ask your doctor first, right? Don't do anything that I tell you without asking your doctor. But it does work, and I have a thread online at anabolicminds.com telling exactly what I did and everything like that. But if you have the money, I would pick up Lipogain. It's awesome. It has azelaic acid, which the generic doesn't, and azelaic acid, like I said, inhibits both types of DHT on your scalp, and that's really important because regular minoxidil, although it somehow cuts down on hair loss, according to the damn it, I'm messing up, International Society of Hair Restoration Surgeons, excuse me, it is effective. So the price is right on it. This stuff used to be like $45 a bottle. I think the Rogaine, they still try to sell that that much, but no need to get that. I think your best two options, like I said, and I list them all in hair loss from steroids, is Lipogain twice a day, and if you're trying to save money, this as much as you can. I didn't have problems with the redness. Now, a short little warning, I will do a little separate discussion on this after. If you haven't used minoxidil, when you start using it, and I really didn't see much of this, but I know what other guys see, your hair will start shedding. And a lot of guys, you know, who are experiencing hair loss already start to panic. They're like, what the fuck is happening? This isn't working, this isn't working. It's the other way around. If your hair loss speeds up, it's just shedding. It's not androgenic alopecia. It's evidence that the minoxidil is working, not working. So really just wait it out, because what it does is it shifts pretty much anything it touches into the anagen phase, and that's the growth phase. So hairs that it like really speeds it up. So hairs that were growing will almost, I mean, for an unscientific way to talk about it, be put on overdrive or something and shed, but they're not going to go into the dormant intelligent sleeping phase. They're going to come right back out. So while you might experience some shedding in the first 2-3 weeks, that hair will be back in about 6 or 8 weeks. Promise you. I've used this stuff enough to know. And yeah, minoxidil works. Generic's not bad. I would pick up the other formula, but that's just me. Give it a whirl.